Alright, we are back. Last year I made a video about the 10 things that were most essential to my life. Back then it was surfing, the ocean, my bike. My whole life was centered around the beach. This year almost everything is different. I moved to Utah, most of those things are gone, and I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about that. But there's also a car sitting in my garage that I spent a year and a half building with my grandpa, a habit tracker that actually stuck, and a life I'm building that didn't even exist a year ago. These aren't just 10 things I like, these are 10 things shaping how I live and how I want to live. I want to do this every year, watch what stays, watch what goes, and most importantly, watch who I become along the way. Let's get into it. I'm Calder Thomson, and these are my 10 essentials for 2025. Essential number 1 this year is my habit tracker. So I started doing this in July. That was the first time I started trying to really track my habits. I had heard about it before and I tried it before, but it never really stuck. And so I decided to stick with 2 simple habits of YouTube work and reading. And so I did that consistently from July till October. And then in October I decided this is great and all, but I feel like it has the potential to be life-changing. So I thought about it and I thought about what it needed. Like, it didn't have any review. It was just, you're just trying to hit the habit every single day, which is obviously good and it points you in the right direction. But I realized that for what I wanted to accomplish, I needed a weekly review, and I also needed specific things, specific actions that will lead me towards the life I want. Now, in last week's video, I broke this all down. Great video, I definitely recommend you go watch it. This is just the first month that I did it, but I have my other paper that is not quite filled out because it's not quite the end of December. The 4 habits that I decided to go with were in bed by 8:30 p.m. If I'm in bed consistently by 8:30 p.m. at least 5 nights a week, then my sleep can stay on point, and that's just the basis for everything else. Second thing I chose was a workout. I really wanted to get in consistently training again, so I did 4 days a week of that, and I hit it for all 4 weeks. That was something that was really a positive change in my life. My third habit was YouTube work for 30 minutes, and this one is probably the least consistent because my weekly goal was to get 1 video out. It's not to hit 30 minutes every single day, it's just to get 1 video out. It doesn't matter when or how I do that, but as long as the video is getting out, then that's the main goal, and then the daily habit of 30 minutes is just the vehicle to get there. Finally, skill work for 15 minutes. This one I hit 2 out of the first 4 weeks, but this one was maybe the most game-changing because it's like I dedicated myself to actually putting in the time to learning how to improve areas of my work, like my content, my hooks, my scripting, and I think that's really paying off now. So those were my 4 habits that I decided to pick for this habit tracker. The habit tracker made the list this year because I have felt really a truly positive change in my life since implementing it, and especially since implementing this kind of optimized version over the past month and a half. I think that it's brought a lot of real consistency, and from that real momentum, and the result of that is just, it feels amazing. So I'm very grateful that I started this habit back in July and have now optimized it. Not all the way, obviously it can still progress, but for now this is where I'm at. It represents real consistency and discipline in my life and actual momentum starting to take hold. It's probably been the most beneficial thing that I've done in the last couple months, and if you want to do the same thing for yourself, I definitely recommend you go check out that video. Okay, essential number 2. My next essential is workouts. After implementing it consistently from the habit tracker, over the past 2 months I've felt such a positive change in having my own consistent workout schedule. I've done all the regular sports and surfing and skiing and all that in the past, but this is the first time really getting into weighted workouts and a consistent program, and that's just really been a positive change in my life. This is just a regular dumbbell. This is a piece from the tonal, which I'll pull up some clips right now, But basically, I do most of my moves on the tonal, and it's really been a great tool to use. It's my dad's. He has been using it consistently for the past 3 or 4 years, I think, and I've just been getting into it, but it's really fun, and I like getting to see all of the numbers and the progression as you go along. And then my speaker I've got over here. This is how we get the vibes up, how we get the body pumping, the blood running. Get some good jams on this, turn it up loud, and then just hit the weights and get it going. It's my favorite part of the workout is maybe the music and how it makes me feel, but just the music, getting it going is so fun. I've been pretty serious about my health for I'd say the past 3-ish years, and I've always been conscious of what I'm doing to my body, what I'm putting into it, how I'm training it. But the last 2 months has really been that consistent workout schedule, and I've just seen crazy benefit because of that, and not just physical benefit, but a lot of mental benefit as well. I weigh myself every single morning on my scale and put that into my fitness pal, trying to gain muscle. Right now I'm around 165, 170 pounds, so hopefully by next year I'll be getting up into the more like 180s, 190s. If I'm in there, that'd be pretty sick, bulked up. But basically, I just see health as a very long-term investment, and one of the best investments you can make is in your body, because your body affects your mind, your performance, and everything else. So if you have a strong body, then it leads to a strong mind, and I think it's just a cornerstone of building a really fulfilling life. If you master the body, you're able to master the mind. And I think that I've felt that really, especially over these past 2 months, getting consistent with it. So that is why it's an absolute essential in my life, and it will continue to be for the rest of my life. So that is why workouts are one of the things that I can't live without in 2025. Essential number 3, sleep. I chose this as one of my essentials because it is the basis for everything else. It's on my habit tracker, and it is just one of the most powerful things that you can focus on. I feel like when I've focused on sleep in my life, especially in this past year, I've tried to lock it in more than I have maybe any other year. I felt better, focus, more recovery. It's just an improvement for everything else in my life. When your sleep suffers, you suffer. And so that is why I have these handy little items to help me get the best sleep possible. Number 1 is my mouth tape. I made a whole video on this, one of my first videos actually. It's kind of funny to watch it now. I'm not the best at YouTube videos when I recorded that, but mouth tape basically improves your sleep because it keeps your mouth closed, so you cannot breathe through your mouth. And mouth breathing has been found to have so many negative impacts. So step 1, mouth tape, lay it on. Step 2, I got some earplugs right here. This is basically to block out any noise that I might find in any sleep environment. So this is always an essential when I'm traveling, or even just at home when the house is getting loud at night, whatever. I pop these in, boom, cuts out a lot of the noise, and it makes it much easier to sleep. And then finally, I've got my sleep mask. This is a Manta sleep mask, and this is the best sleep mask out there in my personal opinion. It's completely blackout. When you put it on, boom, can't see anything. It's super comfortable and breathable. It's got all these little holes for ventilation and stuff. It's super lightweight, feels great on the head, and could wear it all night long. I usually just put it on in the morning when it's getting brighter, or if there's gonna be any light while I'm sleeping, I'll put it on. And the combination of these 3, it almost feels like your senses are gone, like in one of those float takes or whatever. But once you're asleep, there's no way that you are getting woken up. So these are essential to my sleep setup, and sleep is essential to my life. I feel like sleep is the foundation, the foundational thing that is kind of looked upon in the wrong view in our culture, especially with kids my age. Obviously our circadian rhythm shifts, but within focusing on sleep, I've seen such positive benefits. And I think that everybody views sleep in this bad way. Like if you can grind harder or put in more hours throughout the day, get less sleep, like waking up early is often seen as this good thing. And it's great to be waking up early, but if you're going to bed early and not getting enough sleep, then that can be detrimental. It's better to get more sleep and wake up when you can, and then have better performance all throughout your life than it is to wake up early and get that little bit more focus in the morning. I'm definitely not saying not to wake up early, but I'm just saying to get enough sleep. I've seen so many positive benefits in my life from sleeping more and trying to get better quality sleep, and so that is why it is one of the 10 things that I cannot live without in 2025. Okay, so those are the foundations, my habits, training, and sleep. But now let me show you what I'm actually building on top of that. Okay, essential number 4, my new computer. I made a video on this about what this computer means to me, but pretty much this is a MacBook Pro M4 Pro. My old computer pretty much got in the way of a lot of things that I wanted to do, like editing. It didn't have enough storage and all these different things. So with buying this computer, it's unlocked everything that I want to do, and has also allowed for a new level of creativity and performance. It's been super good, super fun. This is the first personal computer that I bought with my own money as a commitment towards the life that I want to live. Like I said, I made a video on that, but basically it doesn't allow for any more excuses. Like there's no excuse for me to not be able to make these videos or build the things that I want to be building for the life that I want, and it allows me to do everything and at a very high level as well. Like I said, better tools unlock better performance and better work, and so with this I eliminate any excuses so I could actually execute. Here's what it looks like on the inside. As you can see, here's my script for this video right here. But yeah, super nice, smooth, fun, great display, super powerful. I haven't run into any issues editing or anything like that. I don't think I ever will. So yeah, this has been, since I got it in July, a thing that I cannot live without. Let's move on to the next one. Essential number 5 is AI. This is one of the most powerful tools that anyone has at their disposal. And I don't just mean for general searches or doing your schoolwork, like I most definitely use it for sometimes. Can I say that? Do you think I should say that? I'll keep it in the video, it's fine, it's fine. But for actually utilizing it to make your life 10 times better. If you use it in the right way, it can be one of the most powerful tools imaginable. Right now, my favorite is Claude, and the tools will always change, but that's just what's working for me right now. If you haven't tried Claude, I think you should check it out because it seems to be a lot better at deeper problem solving and optimizing your life in a way that ChatGPT can't really do. But you really just have to find whatever works best for you. Right now for me that's Claude, but it may be different for you, and it will probably be different for me by next year. I use it pretty much as a mental sparring partner, something that I can bounce ideas off of, help me optimize my life. I use it as an idea generator and an expert level thinker, and just all the things that you can think of that it is capable of. It's pretty much capable of anything if you give it the right directions. It's helped me build my entire workout routine that I talked about, that I've actually stuck with consistently for weeks, and maybe that's a combination of the habit tracker and everything else, but it actually stuck in my life for more than 2 weeks when all the other programs that I've tried have failed. So I'm really grateful that it was able to design something that just fits so seamlessly into my life. And I'm sure that if you use it for something on a higher level than just schoolwork or general questions, it can help you to reach the next level for your life. It's pretty much like having the ultimate personal assistant that can do anything 24/7. It's always available whenever you ask, and it can accomplish any task if you can craft the right message and deliver what you want it to give you in the right way. Leave a comment down below if you would want me to make a video on this. I think it could be really powerful, and it's definitely made a positive impact on my life, and I think it could for you as well. So leave a comment down below if you would want a video on how to actually use AI in your life. And that's essential number 5. Okay, essential number 6, audiobooks. I've found in the past year that it's been more challenging to give books the time that they need and deserve to really change your life. So when I started listening to audiobooks, it was an immediate game changer for me. I listen every day to and from school for about 40 minutes total, and that's 5 days a week, so I'm getting about 200 minutes there. That's why I included these little headphones, because it symbolizes listening and the audiobook. Some of my favorite books this year that have really changed a lot for me is The Art of Focus by Dan Coe. I don't have a physical copy of that, but I do have one on my Kindle, and it's been running on my car in the audiobooks for the past couple months now, and it has really shifted the way I view a lot of things. That's been one of my favorites. Another one that I'm reading right now, this is a physical book, but it's Wisdom Takes Work by Ryan Holiday. I'm almost done with this one, but Ryan Holiday's stuff has just really been super great for me this year. I also read Stillness is the Key, and I absolutely love that one. Definitely recommend you check it out. If you haven't read any of his books, Wisdom Takes Work is great, Stillness is the Key is great, and The Obstacle is the Way is also great. I've read all of those from him. Another one is Atomic Habits by James Clear. This is a classic telling you how to build habits that actually stick. The one thing he didn't talk about is how to create the ultimate habit tracker. I think he did talk about habit trackers, but the one that I created was pretty sick, so I definitely recommend you check out that video. But anyway, back to audiobooks. The habit of listening in the car is built into something I already do in my commute to school 5 days a week, so it's easy to do, and it's always great to kind of shift my mind into the right perspective in the morning, and then after school to come down with the right perspective as I'm getting home and going into my workouts. And that's something that I actually recommend you do, is building your habits into other things that you actually do automatically. It makes it much easier, and it's also talked about in Atomic Habits by James Clear. But basically, if you have something like brushing your teeth at night or driving to work or school like I do, you can just add the audiobook to that, or say you brush your teeth every night, you listen to an audiobook while you do that and as you prepare for bed, and it's just a lot easier to do it when it's connected to something that you already do all the time. I still read physical books like I just talked about and my Kindle at night, but audiobooks have unlocked way more reading time when I'm not able to physically sit down and focus on a book. It's been a way for me to get a lot more of the info in my brain. It's obviously not as solidified because you're not reading the words on the page, but you're getting the words through audio. But I just like to crank it up to maybe 1.5, 1.7 speed and go through these books while I'm driving, while I'm doing tasks around my house, and it's been a game changer for bringing in new knowledge into my life for 2025, and that is why it is my 6th essential. Okay, essential number 7. For this one, we're going to need to take a step outside, so come with me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is essential number 7, the Getaway Car. This is a 2010 Jeep Grand Cherokee that me and my grandpa, who I call Gramps, built into what you see before you. It is called the Getaway Car because when we first got it, before doing anything to it, the engine needed to be replaced. So we took it to an old mechanic who was just working out of his backyard, and he fixed it up, but then he left it out front of his house with the keys in it, unlocked, because he thought that my grandpa was going to be there soon. Spoiler alert, my grandpa was not there soon. It was stolen and taken and used to try and pull an ATM out of the wall of a bank. So that is how it got the name of Getaway. And I'll show you on the back, it has the Getaway license plate, which was super cool. I was psyched that we got that license plate, but once we got it back, it had some dings. They had attached the straps that they tried to pull the ATM out with, just like on the back of these seatbelt hooks, not even on the frame of the car. So we got it back with some scratches and dings, but not to worry because this is what we turned it into. First thing that we did when we got it back was cut off pretty much all of the bottom half, the old 2010 body. So we cut it kind of down below here, just like right below where the windows come down. Started to formulate everything around this hood. This was the center of the build that we started with. We didn't build the hood or the grill, but we put them on the old hood underneath. I could show you that below this new hood, you have the old 2010 Grand Cherokee hood. And so this is all cut up and molded onto the cool hood. So once we had the hood, we figured out how to fit the grill into that to make it look good and work. And then from there, we just built to the back of the car. Everything was planned out with a little piece of cardboard paper, all of the pieces, how it would fit around the rest of the car, and then we would take that and cut it out in metal and then put it onto the car. So first thing was the hood and the grill, and then we built back every one of these pieces to the back of the car. Coming around to the back of the car, you have the ATMs, as we like to call them. They're called the ATMs because if you did try and pull an ATM out with these, it would be successful. The people who stole it just tried to use the seats, and obviously that did not work. These could, though I will not. Getaway license plate. And then one of my favorite features, boom. Slide your surfboards in here and you're ready to go. Like what? Doesn't get much more epic than that. Everything you see is all pieces built by me and Gramps. These bumpers are made out of a thicker steel that can withstand the bumps and bruises that bumpers are supposed to. Getting these tires on was one of the funnest parts of the whole process. From the old 2010 tires to putting these on, we put like a 2-inch lift on it to give it a little bit of height. Along with these, it added like 4 or 5 inches, and it really just brought out the frame of the car and made it look pretty freaking sick. Up here you can see the custom-made flares. These were one of the cooler things that my grandpa designed. Well, he designed the whole car, but getting to watch him work through how these were built was super cool because it's obviously this pipe that he bent and that we cut and kind of molded together, welded to. But underneath, it's all of these strips of metal just like on here, all cut and sliced up so that it fit in this perfect curve that you see here. This car took about 1.5 years to build, but more than any part of the process or the end result that I have before me of this amazing car was the time that I got to spend with my grandpa, Gramps. Getting to get that much closer to him. He calls me his squarehead. He has nicknames for every one of his grandkids, and I'm the first grandkid, so I got squarehead. And that's kind of the thing with our family, is we're all squareheads, as you can see. But just every day spent with him working on this, working through all the parts and pieces. It was completely of our own design, so there was a lot of challenges and setbacks, but it was completely worth it for the end result, and I think even more worth it for the time that I got to spend with him. Countless days and nights spent in his shop working on it, or back at his house watching surfing movies before going to bed, making brownies together, is something that I will just hold so near to me in my heart forever, and one of my most special times in my life. One of the coolest things that I've ever gotten to do, and all made possible because of my Gramps, so thank you to Gramps. I remember about 3 or 4 years ago, at pretty much this time of year, I asked my grandpa if we could build a car together. I remember being super nervous because it's a huge project, a huge task. My mom and her brothers and sisters all built one, so I wanted to get the same opportunity, and I was just hoping beyond hope that he said yes. And I remember it first being a reality after asking him, when I came to his house one day and he had all these sketches out, and we had found the concept that we wanted to base it off of. And then we bought the car like a couple weeks later, and everything just started to come together, and it was actually real. And that was just like mind-blowing for me, that it was actually becoming a reality, and one day I would be driving it. All of the moments getting to work on this I will hold in my heart forever, and they are all so special. But I do remember painting it probably the most vividly. It was like finally time to paint it, and we had been kind of waiting to paint it for the right circumstances, but we're finally like, okay, we just need to go for it and get this done. So we set up the shop, got everything prepped, ready to go, and we painted it all. It looked good. There were some drips, some runs. I painted it myself along with the help of my grandpa. But then we're looking at it after we painted it, and like we noticed kind of this fuzz to it, like this blur to it. And then we looked at the instructions on the paint, and the shop was 20 degrees too hot for what it needed to be for the paint to cure right. And so that ended up in another couple weeks of work buffing it. But I think that overall that was just part of making it look as good as it does right now. Getting the stripe on it just like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think was like the moment that I realized that it was finally like, I'm gonna drive this thing. I feel like the stripe brings it all together. Before, obviously, it was just all blue along the side, but then with the stripe, it kind of connects the top and the bottom, ties it all together, makes it look super cool. And then I drove it back from the shop when we got the stripe on it, and it honestly was kind of sketchy because 2 of the cylinders, it's a V6, I'm pretty sure 2 of the cylinders weren't hooked up, and it wasn't running at full capacity, and it was super sketchy to drive it. Like the wheels weren't fully tightened, so every little bump I hit felt like it was gonna break, and it took a lot to get up and go. But I just remember feeling this wave of pride, like, oh, this is real, I'm actually driving it, and everybody's looking at me around the streets, and that was one of the coolest parts. Just the hours and hours that have gone into this car over this year is why it is such an essential of my life. I think even more than the car is just the relationship that I got to build with my grandpa, and it just symbolizes that if you're willing to put in the work and put in the hard effort day in, day out, even when it's not working, even if you don't know if it will turn out, then you can come out with something that you're really proud of. And I'm just so proud of this, and I wouldn't trade the experience for anything. I would do it all over again just to get that with my grandpa again, and so that is why it was one of the 10 things that I can't live without for 2025. And then on the inside, you've pretty much got your traditional 2010 Grand Cherokee interior. I installed this handy dandy little stereo so I can bump my tunes. Put this nice stereo cover on, and sunroof. Yeah, just the same back as your regular 2010 Grand Cherokee. It's just the outside that is the coolest part. Let me know if you would like a more in-depth dive on this car, or maybe like a podcast with my grandpa. I think that could be really cool. This was the most meaningful and my favorite thing from 2025, but there was also something that changed that I wasn't really expecting, so let's head back to the desk. Okay, number 8. This one is a little deeper. It is friendship. Last year, moving back from California, I kind of shut myself off. It was a major part of my identity and who I am, and I just felt so happy and connected to the beach that it was really hard to try to shift and to do something different in Utah. So this year I decided to move to a new high school and make the switch because a couple of my buddies had gone down there, and actually invest in being social and creating genuine connections. I can still remember that first night, one of the first days, I think it was the first school day that I went down there. I got to go to this little welcome back to school dance with one of my friends from Park City, and it just felt right again. I just felt like I had found my people, and social connection was something that I actually wanted to do. Instead of holding on to the past, I was excited to build this new future that I had found at a different school. It really just matters so much more than I thought or that I would have said last year. Surrounding yourself with the right people can really change everything, and having genuine connections is one of the best parts of life. I started to hang out more and actually initiate hanging out and putting in the real work that it takes to build genuine connection and real friendship. And I feel like I've gotten to a place where I have the perfect balance of individual work and personal growth, building on my own towards the life that I want, but also realizing that having those connections and relying on other people is essential part. I feel like this essential is really just about the personal change that I've experienced in my own life. Instead of dwelling on the past or living in a past life that has been really good, like last year thinking about California, wishing that I could just go back, instead of focusing on what I had in the present, what I could be doing now to make this present moment as good as it could possibly be, was really a powerful shift. Focusing on things that were good in the past, yes, they were good, and yes, they had happened, so they can happen again, but also realizing that all we have, if you really think about it, all we have is right now. You cannot live in the past. You cannot live in the future. And if you try to, it only brings more pain into your life. The only thing that we can try and do is be fully present in this moment. And that shift, that decision to move to the new school and invest in the present moment and try and form these new friendships has just been really essential to my life in 2025. I think that genuine connection with people who are similar to you is one of the most important things that you can develop in your own life, and I think that it's really critical to take the time to find and develop those real connections instead of just taking what may be your first option or your second option, but digging deep to find the right people who will not only support you now, but are best for your growth and for your future. And I think that finding people who bring out the best in you and make you want to become the best version of yourself is one of the most powerful things that you can do. Okay, essential number 9 is nature. I had this on my list last year, and though I'm in nature way less than I was when I lived in California, I feel that it still brings so much benefit to my life. And I always feel such a positive shift when I'm able to get outside and be in the beauty of nature. I always try and ask myself, like, as a question, if I'm doing something inside, if I am able to take this outside, like if I could do this outside, or how can I get out more? How can I take more walks or be in nature more? I'm especially excited because I got new skis this year. They're under the table. Let's see if I can pull them. I got new skis this year, and these represent time spent in the snow. Hopefully time that will be spent in the snow. We currently do not have any snow right now, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks. And I think that some of my favorite parts of life are being connected to nature, doing something physical, so you're taken out of the mind and you're just in the wide expanse of nature, like skiing, like surfing, like how it had such a big impact on my life last year. And I'm super excited to ski this winter as well. So those are my skis, but another thing I try and do to include nature in my life more is getting out in the morning and getting my morning sunlight. I think that I might make a video on this soon, but pretty much just getting out first thing, getting the sunlight into your eyes is one of the most beneficial things you can do for not only your mental health, but also for your physical health. It helps with sleep. It helps to regulate your circadian rhythm. Winter is gonna make it harder, but I do remember 3 winters ago, we had the biggest snow year that we've ever had, and every morning I got out and I went under a pine tree in our backyard so that it was protected from the snow. There was like 3-4 feet outside of the pine tree of snow, and then there's that dip, and then underneath the pine tree there's a little clearing, and I had this little beach chair that I put out there, and every morning for at least 3 or 4 months I went out there in the freezing cold and I meditated as I watched the sun come up. That was one of my favorite things, one of my favorite memories, and so maybe I'll try and do that again this winter. Like I said, I'm so excited to ski this winter. It's the thing that brings me the closest to nature here in Utah. It's fun, it's rewarding, and it gets me outside even when it's 0 degrees. This one is on the list because even though I am not in nature as much as I would like to be, as I was in California, I do want it to stay a central part of my life because it brings so much, and it has been just a great part of this year. So that's why it's one of the things I can't live without in 2025. All right, and my final essential for 2025 is my water bottle. This thing, as you can hopefully tell, is pretty beat up. The bottom doesn't stand flat. It wobbles all around because of dropping it, or it's been in a backpack down by the ocean and it hit a rock. All scratched up. The lid is starting to break, and this originally would stay stiff, but now it kind of just goes wherever it wants. But this thing has been everywhere with me on every adventure. I've had it for a little over 2 years. It's been to the beach with me probably hundreds of times. It's been through the move back here to Utah and all of my adventures that I've had here now. It's a Super Sparrow. I don't know if you can tell from the wood on the top, but I like this because it holds a decent amount. It's not overly big, but it holds a decent amount, and it's also fully metal. There's no plastic in it, and I think it's very important to just stay hydrated throughout the day and keep your mind full of that water, make it perform better, keep your body full of that water to make it perform better. But this bad boy has just been through all of the adventures, all of the beach days, all of the journey, this grand journey that I've taken, and so that is why it is my final essential for 2025. Okay, so those have been my 10 essentials for 2025. I'm sure by next year some of these items will definitely change, some might stay, and after all, that's the whole point. It's not the items on this table, but what they represent. The life that I'm building, the person that I'm becoming. If you want to see what my 10 essentials were last year, I'll leave a link down below, as well as at the end of the video, along with my habit tracker video, which I definitely recommend you check out. I'll be doing this every single year, so subscribe if you want to see my 10 essentials next year. I'll see you in 2026, and remember, you can't change your life until you change what's in here. You got this.